sake.
Hi, this is Don Matteo, and you are listening to the Ought to Know Better podcast. Let's do this.
Leeds are shit.
We're recording, you know.
Oh, shit.
We're the good start. I don't think we've got the personnel.
You can fucking laugh all you want, you absolute bellend.
I think about things, that's why you lot are idiots.
A melted version of a dick that's been shrink wrapped. The absolute elite shithousery of this.
Good evening. Bosh. Well, just so everyone knows, so the lads don't out me as a complete fucking clown, I played the intro thinking, that's going to set us off and put us live on the old interwebs. And thank you, Smarty, for noticing that we hadn't actually gone fucking live. We were just having a great old chat here, like it was live and fucking direct, but no. So I just said I'd get that in first.
5 minutes. If it just eaten 5 minutes into my sleep tonight.
Ah, well, sure. You're probably going to have a bath after this anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I
won't get to sleep till stupid o'clock anyway, probably. So
there you go. How are you doing, lads? Smarty, you all right?
Very well, thanks. Second time for asking. Yes, thank you.
That's all right. Well, it's fuck it. Luke, are you doing all right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Nice. So look, we'll get straight into it, lads. I want to talk about the dickhead ref. Just get him out of the way. Burst the pimple. Luke, go for it.
Yeah, I managed to watch it. Got back from kickboxing. Managed to watch it. Yeah, I did manage to watch it, Karl, before you ask. But yeah, it was. Do you know what? I just thought it was a bit whistle happy anyway. I think on the grand scheme of things, he got some major decisions wrong. He should have gone to VAR, but is that his fault? Should VAR have been in his ear for the specifically, possibly for the Pascal Strike incident? Probably. I agreed. I found myself agreeing with Steve McManaman last night after the game, and what he said was something along the lines of the game was stop-start, and that was what Sunderland came to do. They came to spoil, and they came to, put a dent in any momentum we had at any stage of the game, and through however they wanted to do that, and the ref let them. Unfortunately, he they were old manned, were the ref. And ourselves as a team, the dark arts of the referee the goalkeeper going down because they don't have to remove a player if the goalkeeper goes down. I think that should be changing, and the captain should have to go off for 3 minutes or whatever it is to stop that. But we'll come into that. But yeah, it wasn't his finest moment. The referee, I just felt he was far too quick to blow his trumpet or his whistle. And it was a poor performance all around. I thought they were a horrible team to come and watch, and I dread to think if they play. One of my close friends actually is a Sunderland fan, and I was talking to him. I said, "Is it like this every week? Is this how you've been playing all season?" Because I haven't watched a lot of Sunderland. I'll be perfectly honest. It was like, no. He said, it's not how we have played. They said that when Jack is not playing, that they do tend to just try and hold on for anything. But I think Daniel Farke got it wrong last night. I think we should have set up far more attacking.
Yeah. Smarty, you were at the game as well as myself last night, and just about. The atmosphere was quite good for about 15 minutes, I thought, at the start, and then the keeper pulled the wool over the ref's eyes. It changed dramatically after that. It took the momentum out of our game, and I think it killed it from the 20th minute, if I'm honest. What do you think?
You could tell what kind of game it was going to be after 15 minutes or so, I think. I think the writing was on the wall relatively early on. I agree with what Luke said. I think Farke got his team selection wrong. I mean, it's easy to say with hindsight, etc. But you could tell at half-time. At half-time, I said, we need to bring Metcher on. We need someone to help Calvert-Lewin up top because he was just completely isolated on his own up there with no help, really. They were obviously really, really rigid at the back. They weren't pressing us at all. They were happy to just defend for their lives. And we didn't have anyone coming in and around. I think the wingers were practically defending for their lives as well. So we couldn't really. I think Bogle and Goodmanson struggled to get any sort of leeway around the sides. But yeah, the referee, man. Well, let's start with atmosphere. Yeah, the atmosphere turned on its arse about 15 minutes in because it was one of them sort of games that were just scrappy, messy, horrible. We couldn't really pass the ball or didn't seem to pass the ball around that well. they were absolutely just time wasting from minute one. And I was just like, this is just how it's going to be all night. I says it's going to be one of them games where we could play literally for a week and we would never score. And they were just playing every single dark art in the book, weren't they? Absolutely. And the referee were fucking dog shit. Half the time he spent walking around wondering what the frigging hell he were doing.
Yeah.
Like, what's he doing?
I tend to agree.
Their keeper went down, for injured, and they all disappeared over to the side at pitch again. So again, for the second game in a row, they were all booing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Pep Spesh. It was just a shambles, mate. I wanted to leave. I'll be honest with you, about 70 minutes in, and I just thought, I just want to fucking go home. This is dog shit. We aren't going to score. These are being absolute set of BAR stewards.
Yeah.
It wasn't a nice game. The stats back it up as well. The stats are pretty shocking when you delve into them, how much football we're actually.
I think the fact that Luke 09 was man of the match tells you what sort of game it was. Do you know what I mean? It was a championship fixture, and for him to come out and I don't know if you've seen the after-match comments. He actually said it was a great game of football.
Yeah, he's a fucking knobhead, that guy. Absolute
don't. Oh, me or Luke 09?
Luke 09, man, he's an absolute
this will be good for me
knobhead.
because I've not seen anything. I made a tweet last night, and that was it. I've not scrolled Twitter because I dread to think what was getting thrown around on there last night. I know Luke's been busy on the old shit take account, so I'll be looking forward to some of them.
Not just me. I think there's a few of us been on there today. To be fair, I was on there for a little bit, but yeah, there's definitely been more than myself on there. I've been reading. I've had quite a bit of fun reading them. To be fair,
I haven't had 5 minutes to piss all day, but anyway, yeah, I thought the referee was absolutely shocking. Not to delve too much more into him, like
we'll get his ban against Norwich, Michael. Apparently,
he's taken it.
Yeah, it was going to not appeal, so therefore take it against Norwich because you don't want to be on the sidelines for a Premier League game, which I can understand. It's probably a good move. So.
Yeah, very good move. Yeah, I just thought the referee was shocking yesterday. There was fouls where there weren't even fouls. Willie Nanto got booked for absolutely nothing. Jumping over a player, avoiding injury to a player. So apparently that's a bookable offence now. I just didn't think the ref let the game flow at all, and he should have been booking far more of them than he did in relation to time wasting. I genuinely couldn't understand how he wasn't firing the cards out. I think that needs to be a thing that the PGMOL start to maybe hammer in a little bit more. Because, quite frankly, it's ruining the game at the minute. There's no enjoyment in watching that kind of thing. And it's the second week in a row we've had a referee that's done that. 2 blatant stonewall penalties. Luke, you saw the game on the TV, and we didn't get any replays of the strike thing till half time. And then, like Smarty, I've avoided Twitter for the best part today. Leeds Twitter, anyway. What was the crack with that in real time from a TV perspective? Did you think straight away stonewall penalty, not even need to be checked, or?
I mean, there's always loads going on in the box, isn't there? But if you want, I saw him go down. I think he goes down a little bit too easy. I'll be honest with you. But in the rules and regulations of the game, that is a yellow card in rugby. That's a yellow card in rugby. He's made contact with somebody's face with his arm. Luke 09 is looking. His hands, arms, whatever. He's not looking at the ball at all. He's literally staring at Pascal Strike. It's as obvious as it comes, and the fact that they haven't looked at it is nothing less than despicable, and it frustrates you. You know,
look at it.
Did they not look at it?
They didn't. No, they didn't look at it. It didn't go to VAR.
What, the penalty?
Yeah,
our penalty
claim. Our penalty shot.
Yeah. They looked at it and said it wasn't an obvious error. I've literally, I know that. I listened to Squareball and they confirmed that as well. They didn't
that's what. Yeah, sorry, they've looked at it, but what I mean is they haven't recommended him to have another look at it. Yeah, they're not recommending him to have a look at it. Yeah, no, sorry, yeah, I was getting me knickers in a twist there. Yeah, no, sorry, they literally looked at it over a couple of seconds and just dismissed it immediately, pretty much. But it's look, they came and played anti-football. They came with a plan, did Sunderland, and executed that plan. They would have been happy leaving there last night with a point, I'm sure. They got the rub of the green when whatever happened in the second half, and Ampadu had a brain fart. So, But yeah, it just feels unjustified when they get such a soft penalty. Yes, he's touched his hand. Yes, he's flicked his hand towards it. But ultimately, if they don't think the refs made a clear and obvious error there with him flicking his hand, how can he not made a clear and obvious error in the first half when Luke O'Nine's rugby tackled him around the head?
Yeah. The problem we're finding now is that the refs either aren't consistent enough, or depending on the team we're playing, they're going to go one way or the other. You know what I mean? There's no... And like, I'm not trying to say, oh, whoa, fucking Leeds, because we lost yesterday by any means, but the consistency isn't there, and we're paying the price for it at the moment, and it's people's livelihoods that he's messing with at the end of the day. And if the PGMOL, like even Keith Hackett came out today and he said he was screaming at the TV because he was like, it's a penalty. It's a penalty, you know.
Even their fans have said it's penalties. Everybody I've spoken to said it was a Stonewall penalty. Yeah. Stonewall. Everybody, but the referee and the VAR team last night have said that is a penalty. I would say 99.99% of the population who watched that game or have watched it back will tell you that's a penalty. There'll be one in every 1,000 that's a knob that doesn't think it's a penalty for whatever reason, and they'll try and sort of worm their way through it. But that is as obvious and blatant and as clear as you can get, I'm afraid.
That's more of a penalty than it was last week, and last week was a definite penalty, like, you know what I mean? And neither were given, which is absolutely diabolical. Michael Gotts in the comments here, he says, hasn't the ref Atwell been investigated before on refereeing standards? Might be worth a quick Google there. Well, they probably all have, like, but we know the kind of guy that's in charge of the PGMOL. It's Mr. Man United referee, personal friend of Alex Ferguson.
He says, we were very poor at putting pressure on refs. When Ampadu handled the ball, the ref was surrounded by 5 to 6 players. When Pascal was beheaded, he was only one shouting for a penalty. Yeah, right. And a lot of people have said this, that we need to be, a little.
You don't want to see it though, do you?
No, you don't want to see it, but
you shouldn't have to now with VAR. You shouldn't have to now with VAR.
It's only the captains that are supposed to be able to approach the referee at any time. And yet they're still, you saw it with Arsenal, you see it with City, you see it with every frigging team does it.
Slabhead last week for scum when that Palace penalty was given.
It's ridiculous. Same thing. And we don't do it. But then, if you've got that many people kicking off, the ref's surely going to think, right, well, friggin' hell, best have a look at this. Or at least stop play whilst I'm surrounded by this wall of bloody players. It works for everyone else. You can't beat them sometimes. You have to join them. I think we just need to be, stop being so bloody naive and just do it. Because what we've got to lose, really?
Like, we're not nasty enough when it comes to that kind of thing. You see, the likes of bleeding John McGinn at Villa, he reffed that game when they came to our place.
Xhaka did. Xhaka did as soon as he came on.
Xhaka did as soon as he came on. Why aren't we doing that? Like, we need to be, like, I'm not saying it's been our downfall or anything. We've played terribly in games, and last night was another one of those games. But like you said, when Pascal is getting manhandled and he's the only one shouting for a penalty, man up, lads. Get to the ref. Get in his ear. And I just wanted to bring in a comment here from Mark Wright. It wasn't checked, otherwise it would cause a pause in play, which never happened.
It doesn't mean it wasn't checked by them. It could be checked by them, but if the referee doesn't ask for it to be checked, then it won't. But there won't be a pause in play. You can't tell me that the guy with 50,000 fucking cameras that are looking at specifically for these errors haven't thought, oh, we'll have a look at that, just in case he asks us.
Well,
no chance.
No chance. Before, hasn't it?
I'm saying that they won't do it. Well, obviously they didn't do anything about it because they didn't. They're not allowed to. Tell unless who was it? Atwell or whatever his name is. Unless he blows up and says check it, or I think that might have been, or whatever. They're not allowed to.
But your man, we've seen it where the ref has played on.
Apparently,
there's been games. I mentioned it today. There's been games where the ref has played on, and then VAR has stopped him and told him to go and have a look that he's got it wrong. We've seen that on more than one occasion. So why the hell didn't it at least happen last night? This is the thing. So VAR can intervene. That's the point of the whole fucking annoyance. Is VAR can intervene and tell the ref to go and check it
if they think it's worth checking. But they
maybe that's a little bit of maybe that's a little bit of naivety and immaturity on Ampadu's behalf. He's a relatively young captain. I think I've seen today that he's now in the top in all-time Leeds United captains in terms of how many times he's led the team out with 77 caps or something along them lines.
Yeah.
And maybe not 10, maybe it was 15. I can't remember the exact number, but yeah, maybe that is a little bit of naivety and a little bit of inexperience as a captain on his behalf. As I say, he is still quite young. Maybe that's something that will creep into his game. Zach has been about a bit. Do you know what I mean? And that's probably the difference in the reasons they got a penalty, we didn't, and whatever else. But we could sit here and blame the ref. Ultimately, last night, Farker got that team selection wrong, and we weren't good enough because we should have been beat. They had 7 players out, I think, or something like that, and we didn't take advantage. And we still should have had enough to be beating them at home, irrespective of refereeing decisions.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say everything that happened to us was unjust and that's why we lost. We were very poor. We set up very defensively against a team, like you said, who had 6 or 7 players out, and we shouldn't have done that. We should have had actual wingers on the pitch attacking their fullbacks. Can you imagine? It's one of those. If you have a winger attacking the likes of Luke 09 or Luke 09, who's he can lose his head real quick, real quick. He's one of them players who's got a short fuse, and he got.
Did he get sent off? Didn't he get sent off in his first Premier League game? He came on off the bench, and I think he got sent off in a few minutes.
Yeah. So there's the possibility to wind him up, and we didn't take it. Their back line was there for the taking. There was a few corners in the first half, or the second half, where we were defending, and there's a lad that sits next to me, a couple of seats down, and it's something that I've thought of for a while. He was saying that, he made a good point. He was like, they came to play for a draw, and they were holding on. So when they were getting corners, why didn't we put 4, 5, 6 players up on the halfway line? They're not going to stay in our box if we load up their midfield at that point in the game. They don't want to lose. They're holding out. They will drop players back into their half to account for us pushing that many men forward. Do something that's not the norm. Why aren't we fucking trying these things as well?
Yeah, but that's good with hindsight, though, Cal. I mean, we were set up completely wrong for it as well. We
of course,
defensive players when we should have been attacking. We knew how they were going to come and play. We knew how they were going to set up. He even said that himself in his fucking interview after, post match.
I know.
We say Daniel Farker, and like I said, no one's, completely free of criticism here, and we have been, relatively nice and kind to him because he's been putting some good selections. Some of them haven't gone necessarily well, and it's still frustrating that he doesn't put any players on, pre 65, 70 minutes. But this is squarely on him, I think. Because don't get me wrong, we were fucking shit last night as well.
Yeah.
We were any good last night. We didn't create anything, really. We were really poor. We didn't create anything until he brought Nonto and Dan James on, really. We were really stagnant. Some of the passing wasn't as crisp. I don't know whether we're absolutely bollocks from playing Man City because the lads really put everything into it against them. But, we were
18 shots, man. 18 shots to their 3s. It tells we were shit. The players and Daniel Farker have to take a lot of that on the chin last night's result, and I'm sure we'll see a reaction going into Norwich at the weekend. But
that expected XG is bullshit as well. It should be 0.11 because that 0.75 is a penalty in it.
Yeah. Well, you look at as well. Sorry, Smarty, I wasn't actually trying to cut us all off there. I thought I'd clip that enough to leave us down the side of the fucking screen. Probably do the same here now. There you go. So anyway, as you can see in this part here, we were very much on top for that opening period until the keeper went down and took the momentum out of the game, and then we never got back into it. Until, like Smarty said, we started bringing on the likes of Dan James and Nonto. I think, personally, Aronson is wasted out wide. We've seen his best games so far playing down the middle just off Calvert-Lewin. Now, I don't know who you sacrifice for that. Do you take Gruev out and drop Stack in beside Ampadu and hope they can do a job there and let Aronson sit in front?
Do you know how I had to lined up last night? And the best how we've lined up all season was with Ampadu, with drop Gruev, put Ampadu in midfield with Stack and Aronson, and then have 2 strikers, Metcher and Calvert-Lewin. That's how I would have set up last night in a game where they've got so many players missing. They're gonna be trying to spoil it. We play with much more attacking minded lineup, and I think that would have probably benefited us last night. But as a Smarty keeps saying, hindsight's a wonderful thing. If we'd have won that game 3-0 last night, we didn't. But if we had won it 3-0, I agree, it's got to land with Daniel Farke and in some respects, some of the players, because there was some really shit performances out there as well. Let's not piss about. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
Ampadu was tragically bad last night.
Yeah.
I felt
probably his worst game for us
for the last couple of
for a long time. Yeah, I didn't think
against City, but it wasn't his best.
No. I didn't think Bogle and Goodmanson were effective. We should have recognised that. Probably change that.
The amount of players that they had in defence, so their wingers were playing as extra.
No, I completely agree. But when you know, that's
you need to rectify that though, Smarty. What Luke is saying
exactly.
Is, you need to change it up. Like they took their little fucking pansy break with the keeper going down, and they went over, and as soon as they came out, they were man for man. They totally changed how they were playing. They were man for man once they came back in from that huddle. So why hasn't Farke reacted to that and gone, right, well, we're not going to let them go man for man. Let's go back to 3-4-3 or something. Flood the midfield and bring two wingers.
Somerville's just scored for West Ham. They're 1-0 up at Fulham.
Yeah, I saw that, man.
People just to add to the head loss.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's going to fall off, man. Fall off.
West Ham were always going to be turning in performances because they've been in a bit of a patch of form. They've been doing all right at West Ham lately.
Look at their squad, man.
It's like when you saw on Twitter and stuff like West Ham fans like, oh, Leeds, and all their own fans were saying, don't concentrate on Leeds. Leeds are our target. It's whoever's immediately above us, and then immediately above them, etc. Forest are fucking shit. Tottenham are fucking shit. Who else is down there with us? Palace are doing all right now. They've turned it up a little bit.
I think that's about it, mate, to be fair. I think it's between us, Spurs, West Ham and Forest.
Forest are losing 2-1 to City, so that's not a bad shout. 66 minutes gone there.
Like, fucking people are, oh, fucking West Ham. Fuck West Ham.
Like, that West...
and fucking West Ham a minute.
Man, if West Ham win that game, Forest are in the relegation zone.
Yeah.
They already
only if Forest lose.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if Forest lose and West Ham win, they leapfrog them.
We'd all like West Ham to draw, you know. That'd be...
West Ham?
I mean, lose... Yeah, we'd like West Ham to either draw or lose, wouldn't we? Ideally.
I would love them to lose, yeah.
Yeah.
It keeps it tighter down there and it gives us a little bit of leeway. But, you know, at the end of the day, boys, it's the same as it's been for, you know, weeks and months. We have to just do what we can do. You know, we were brilliant against Man City. We were fantastic. Very, very unfortunate not to come away with anything. Yeah, we didn't have his best game, but it wasn't going to be his fucking best game when you're playing against the fucking shittest of refs, fucking VAR that are wank, a team that just come to fucking not play football and disrupt everything.
It was anti-football.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be there last night. It was fucking shit. It affected the atmosphere. We couldn't get behind anything because what can you get behind? The fucking longest period of football played was 2 minutes and 1 second in the whole match. How the fuck can you get behind that?
It's mental, isn't it?
It was fucking shit. We've got some really, really winnable games coming up. You know, and Sunderland aren't a bad team, really, on paper. You know, they're a lot higher than us. They did a job on us and fair fucking play to them. Yeah, it's shit. Yeah, I don't like to see it, but they were effective. They clearly had a plan and it worked.
Yeah, that's what we need to accept. Like, but at the end of the day, we can blame the ref, we can blame their shithouse tactics. You know, we can blame Farke, but at the end of the day, we didn't turn up.
Yep.
Like, I'm honestly, like, I like Gruev as a footballer. I think, you know, he's done a good job over the last, you know, month and a half, 2 months. Hold on. But if I have to watch that fucking idiot turn onto his left foot in a tight position again, I'm going to fucking gouge my eyes out. He needs to stop that, man. He needs to learn how to pass with his right foot. The amount of forward plays that he slows down by trying to get onto his left foot because he won't use his right is absolutely baffling. You're on 60 odd grand a week, perhaps. You should, well, whatever he's on. I know he's probably not on that, but you need to know how to use both of your feet. At least know how to pass and be capable with your weaker foot. This is absolutely mental for me, and I
get that. Gruev is fine in games where we're not going to have a lot of the ball, where we're not going to be attacking, and we're not going to need, you know, quick turnover of a ball and get out. I've just seen it. Yeah.
What?
A bit late now, isn't it?
Oh, sorry, that's number two of
yeah,
two.
Following a detailed assessment of match incidents, including VAR protocol and on-field decision making, Referee Stuart Atwell has been stood down from upcoming appointments pending further internal review.
I mean, fucking
He
hell.
needs to be sacked.
But that does not fucking benefit us. That's great
No,
for
it
every
doesn't.
other fucker that don't have to have the
Yeah.
absolute fraud of a fucking shit cunt. Oh,
Yeah. We're far enough into it. It won't matter. We're 25 minutes in.
It's not quite 9 though.
It's not quite 9.
Oh,
It
it's
is
bang on
9.
9
It's on the
o'clock.
button. It's
Bang on
on
9
the
o'clock.
It is
button.
now.
never
It
mind.
is now. It's literally just ticked
sorry,
over.
Sorry, not sorry. But yeah, he's an absolute fucking prick with a stupid
Yeah.
haircut. He's got a bit of an island hair that he needs to just let go. He
Yeah.
needs to let go his refereeing license as well because he's a fucking wanker. Shit
Do you know
bastard.
what? Do you know what? Right, I had a few bits wrote down here because I'm kind of organised this evening, bar fucking
What
up, putting us live, you know.
Gilly's actually,
And by not-
actually put something in the chat. Do you want me to read it out in our
Yeah.
chat?
Yeah, go for it.
The Premier League has concluded its initial review of the officiating performance during the fixture between LUFC and Sunderland at Elland Road on 3rd of March 2026. Following a detailed assessment of match incidents, including VAR protocol and on-field decision-making, referee Stuart Atwell has been stood down from upcoming appointments pending further internal review. The league acknowledges the concerns raised by both clubs and supporters remains committed to maintaining the highest standards of officiating integrity, transparency and consistency. A full evaluation is ongoing with the collaboration with the refereeing bodies. And appropriate measures will be taken should performance standards be deemed to have fallen short. No further comment will be made until the process is complete.
Right.
There you go. Set of
Sound.
fucking biased wankers. Do you know what? Right, all last other week, I say other week at weekend when we played City, we're like, fuck me. These some of these officials are bent. I don't give a shit what
Yeah,
your mate
they are.
fucking Jimmy says.
They're
in this
100%.
area. Some of them are fucking bent as fuck, and they're making sure that the top two are as close as possible to the end of the season. I don't give a fuck because after last night, I just think they're making sure that some of the fucking teams down at the bottom of the frigging league are making it as tight as possible. Not you know, like teams like Leeds and Palace and maybe others that start to to break away or whatever, and then it's only literally down to 2. They want it as tight as possible down at down at bottom of the table. I didn't used to think that because I always just think that can't be, but I'm fucking convinced. How the fuck can you pass off that frigging refereeing performance? And it were an absolute shambles, absolute fucking shambles. I was furious last night.
Yeah.
Mega pissed off.
Do you know, it's funny, talking about the ref, I have notes made, and I said ref needs investigating, and that's come about,
his
which is
fucking hard
grand,
drive.
right?
Ball.
And then I have underneath that, Smarty rant, not had one for a while. So, there you go. Nice. You filled it in without even me telling you, so that's all good. Overall, lads, disappointing night last night, and we need to pick ourselves up for the game against Norwich, which we'll get on to later.
Imagine if it was against Norwich.
Don't fucking worry about that. We'll chat about that later. Yeah, you can have your little breakdown later on.
I'm not going to have the breakdown.
I'm not going to have another breakdown.
I've released a little bit of steam so far. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Have you any final thoughts on the game, lads? Because we've done half an hour of it there of this point.
I have.
So.
I've got one
Go
thing
on.
to say. Look, I'm
Okay.
not going to let that. I'm not going to let that one performance, that one team has come and spoil and got away with it. It was very championshipy, wasn't it? It was where we were the better side, and teams came to spoil because they wanted to get a point, or if they were lucky, something like last night would happen, and Ampadu would have a brain fart and they'd get 3 points. It felt very championshipy. So I'm not gonna lose my head over it. I'm not gonna sort of lose too much faith. I still think we are better, I would say, than at least 3 teams in this league. Certainly, I know Wolves beat Liverpool last night. They're well far behind. Burnley, I would imagine, are already down. We just have to be better than one other team, and I think we are. So I'm not going to let it bother me all that much.
You're absolutely right, man. I think we've got some very winnable games based off past performances. Like even as recently as City at home, we played really well. And we're unlucky not to at least come away with a point. And prior to that, we wouldn't have complained about any of the way we played and how we came away with points here and there. Granted, Newcastle and Villa we lost and drew late on. But you know, you still have to take the rough with the smooth, and they're good performances that we put in against 2 Champions League chasing teams. One, still in the Champions League, one in Europe. You know what I mean? It's 2 games isn't going to define our season this year. It's going to be the games that we need to go into with a positive mindset against the likes of Brentford at home, Wolves at home, Burnley at home. You know, this is what we need. We need to just sort of put this one on the back burner, do Norwich on Sunday, and just come back fresh. You know what I mean? Give main players a week and a half off.
Just really quickly, Mike. Sorry, go on.
Go on. No, you go first. If you need
I was just going to say, Michael's popped something in the chat from Wiki. February 2012, Atwell was demoted from the list of select group referees and returned to football league duty on the national list. Special game match official, limited general manager Mike Riley backed Atwell to improve as a referee and return to the top level. So he's never been good enough, basically.
Yeah, essentially. Like there was, we'll get off the refs in a minute, and Smarty, I'll let you jump in. But while I have it in my head, there was a referee a couple of weeks ago in the Premier League. I can't remember what his name was, and he was advised by VAR to go to the screen and have a look at a potential penalty incident that the referee waved away. And he went over, looked at it, and they released a recording of it then a couple of days after, like they have been doing, and he said, no, I'm sticking with my decision. Game carried on. That referee has not refed in the Premier League since. I'll tell you that now.
Good.
Why is that good? He's a referee who didn't bow down.
They've done something about it, haven't they? You know.
Yeah, but they've done something about it because he's gone away from protocol.
See a SWAT team fucking falling from one of the bloody stands and fucking carrying him off with a bag over his head.
I think you're missing the point.
There's nothing anyone can do, literally at the time. But they've reviewed it and said, right, this guy's clearly not fucking fit for purpose. So they've
No. What the fact is that because he's gone against his mates, they've not
gone against VAR and the Referees Association. He's gone against it because he's gone
PG
over. And then when he went over and they started showing a replay of the said penalty, the ref had got it spot on, and that's why he stuck with his decision.
Sorry. Right, okay. Sorry, apologies.
Yeah. And he hasn't.
The VAR reviewed it, got it right, and he'd completely.
No. He got it spot on first time in game play, and as soon as he went against them, he hasn't reffed a game since in the Premier League. So
like that.
that'll tell you exactly what the fucking Referees Association is like.
Fucking VAR and how shit it is. And,
yeah.
It needs to be individually blah blah blah. But it's just the way it's conducted, the way they communicate with each other. It's all, mate, listen, pal, listen, Dave, can you do this, and blah, 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 blah. None of them will throw each other under the fucking bus. They're all a set of fucking arseholes. I appreciate that it's a hard job, etc., but they're making it fucking harder for themselves.
Yeah, and they're making a rod for their own back.
It's just not any good. It's no good. You look at it in fucking Australia and other countries and stuff like it works, it's perfect. You look at it rugby league, it works, it's perfect. Football, fucking shit.
Yeah.
And it's the most valuable fucking sport in the fucking world.
Fuck off.
Fuck Forest as well. It's only a point, isn't it? Fuck it.
Yeah, well, we want a point or a loss with them too anyway, don't we?
Sorry, no, wrong one. It was Skip that I wanted to just flash up because people have been highlighting Star
Yes, I wanted to bring this up.
Skip says, why did Diarra not get his second yellow for jumping on the crowd after scoring a penalty? I asked this very same question to a few people that could be asked to listen to me ranting last night in one of our group chats. I said exactly the same thing. I was screaming my lid off, saying, why is he not being booked? Because that is a yellow card offence. He was stood on the barrier, literally stood on the barrier, in the fucking in with the fans. That's a yellow card offence, akin to taking your shirt off. So why is it not being? It's just another one. It's just another one. Fucking shambles.
It is, yeah. Look. Last night was it was a joke from start to finish. We've talked the bare bones out of it. Like, I think we could literally, we probably, imagine if we did a B and C on this, we'd still be here from last night, like, you know what I mean? But what I want to do is, lads, I want to let's have a bit of a cheery mood for a few minutes. Gilly is saying, yes, but it's run by FIFA, one of the most corrupt organisations in the world over decades. Completely agree. But shite travels downhill, as we all know. So, what's coming out of fucking FIFA? Anyway, let's get this lovely intro going here. This is definitely going to work this time, lads, and we are live, so it's cool.
Hey, has got a shit tick this week, my little spat of fact.
So yeah, as the lads mentioned there earlier on, there was a few of us on a line digging through a few shit takes of the week. We have quite a few, to be fair. I've put one or two in because I just want to, before we start, I just want to make a point. We have Gilly on the pod who, granted, he's given Aronson his bit of business and he said whatever. But Luke, I think you have a serious hatred towards Willie Nonto.
I hate him.
Yeah, I don't think you like him at all. What's going on, man?
I just think he's shit.
But like, I just want to. No, yeah, I know, but like when you look at the opportunities he's been given, right? He's started 2 games, right, and both of them have been the FA Cup, and he's come on and played 316 minutes. Yet he's the only one that you hammer whenever there's bad performances.
He's played 391 minutes and not had a single shot on target as an attacking winger.
And you think like the opportunities he's been given are enough to be able
if
to
I think if I was playing football as an attacking winger and I had his alleged ability and I hadn't had one single shot on target, I think people would be calling me shit as well.
That's fair enough, man. But I think you're a little harsh on him now, to be fair. Anyway, yeah, we'll move on. I just wanted to basically just make that point.
You can't really argue with the stats, but the only time that Farke seems to bring Willie Nonto is when his back's against the wall and we're trying to find that little creative spark and stuff. Usually quite a defensive teams, or we're chasing a goal, so it's probably not necessarily fair. But yeah, that one that he.
But I mean, based on yesterday's performance, he came on, tried beating his man once, lost the ball against Luke O'Nien, who was their reserve defender, and then he tried doing it again and then had a shot which was about 30 yards wide. I mean, I don't know what positive you want me to say about that, to be honest.
I'm not saying positive, but Jesus Christ, like 380 minutes played over the course of a season, and what, 180?
It's probably not enough.
Of them have been in the FA Cup, like.
No, they haven't. No, they haven't. That's incorrect. It was 391 league minutes he's got.
In the FA Cup, we're playing lesser opposition as well, don't forget, Karl.
This is the other side.
I mean, he had a great season in Championship last season, as did Dan James, etc.
I don't think he did last season. I thought it was shit last season.
It wasn't probably hit the dizzying heights that we would have expected.
And I don't think I dislike him, and I don't think I hate him, because I think actually he was our best player the season we got relegated, and I think that's the levels I expect of him, and we just simply haven't seen that. I don't know what's going on, and ever since that. That bid from, was it Milan or Inter or AC or something was meant to be on the cards, and he was twerking for Chelsea, wasn't he, and some other clubs and that, and
Everton, wasn't it?
Everton, sorry, yeah. And ever since then, I just don't think we've seen. I don't think we've seen the best of him, and simply for that, I just think if somebody's got that ability to be our most impactful player in a season that was tough and real tough, and we got some real hidings that season. I just don't think he's in it, and the fact that we haven't seen that level of performances since just sort of screams to me that he don't really want to be here, and I don't think it's good enough. If I'm perfectly honest.
Do you not think Smarty has a point though when he's saying that when he's coming on, he's playing in more of a defensive kind of formation, and we're either hanging on or just about going for a point or a win, like, you know what I mean? Do you think has that something to do with it? The fact that he's been asked to be more defensive and he's not getting the opportunities.
He's not asking to be. When you come in on and chasing a point, you don't come on and get told as an attacker to defend. Like, let's be real about it. Like, he's not come on. He's not. I know he's been asked to defend when the ball gets hoofed out by them and pick the balls up, but there's a reason for that, Karl. There's a reason we bring him on when we're chasing the game, because he's meant to be an attacking-minded player that's going to get you a goal or an assist. Now he's not doing either, so what's the point? Like, look, there's plenty like him as well. There's plenty of other players I could have picked on. It was just there's this massive loving now because Okafor's out injured that we should be playing Willie Nonto because he's our best attacking threat. There is no data to prove that based on his last 2 seasons with us. So bollocks to him.
Anyway.
You what, Smarty?
Goodmanson and Bogle are better than him anyway.
Yeah, but in the formation that we're currently playing, like.
Which we set up, which has been effective for months now. To change it.
Dan James was far more impactful last night. Dan James, and yes, he made a couple of mistakes.
Dan James is, even he's a bit pish now. It's a lot higher. It's a lot higher caliber of football, isn't it? It's the opposition's better, etc.
But he did. he did beat his man a couple of times, which
Yeah,
Willie
no,
Monroe didn't
I
do.
think DJ did okay, but on a whole, we said this at the end of the last season. Dan James won't be the starting sort of winger. I mean, we haven't really played wingers. We don't really play wingers anymore. We're not a 4-3-3 team anymore. We're 5-3-2, 3-5-2, or 3-5-1-1, whatever formation Farker deems fit for whatever opposition we're playing. But
yeah,
we're not really a team that utilises wingers anymore. So
yeah. Liam's right here as well. Liam, he was in the left back position, but they had 11 men behind the ball in their final third. So we didn't really. I know he was out in that position, picking the ball up on the left, potentially what you would argue is a left back position. But when you're attacking for 99% of those periods of play, it's not really a left back, is it? He's asked to get the ball at his feet and do what he's good at, which is running at defenders, running bin direct, and then get a ball in or get a shot off. And he's not doing any of that for me at the moment. So at the moment, for me, it feels like a waste of a substitute because I just don't think he's got that impact in him, and I can't wait for Okafor actually to come back, believe it or not.
Yeah, but it's one of them. I mean, we know we've got limitations. We knew we needed to improve certain areas of the team. We've got a good spine. And we on our day we could beat anyone, and we are very, very difficult to beat. But we know that some players aren't as effective. We know that that fucking hell. How many frigging players from the Championship were winning our starting 11 last night? It's one of them. Yeah, they've taken a gamble. We're not really signing anyone. They signed Buonanotte, who might as well be a fucking cat flapping a pissing elephant enclosure. Because we haven't fucking seen him. And any sort of... Yeah. We saw him in the FA Cup and he was absolutely dog shit on it, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I think that's another point as well, Smarty. Spot on. Nonto's had his chances to make Farker pick him in the FA Cup, and he's been absolute gash as well.
He's not been the best. He was all right against Derby, wasn't he? He was decent against Derby, actually, to be fair to him.
And there's a good finish against Derby.
But, again, you're playing a lesser opposition. They will beat them sort of players all the time. That sort of opposition, that sort of level, he is better than that. But he's a lower level sort of Premier League, but without minutes. And it's...
you knew here, mate. I just said that. I wouldn't have started Gruev.
Yeah. No, the owner. I wasn't trying to foot you, Luke. It's just you've made your feelings very strong, very known on Willie. It's all. I just wanted to get your opinion because
it's not just Willie. It was Okafor before that.
Jesus.
It was Okafor before that. It was. Yeah. It's players the attacking threats that we've got coming on aren't being an attacking threat really. We spent was it best part of 20 million on Okafor. Willie Nonto's been touted around as a 30-35 million player that season. When I just don't see it. Like none of them excite me that like they used to. And Willie, I'm not going to lie, Willie did excite me.
I bet it does.
But he did when that season when he played on the left, he was better than Somerville. Before we got relegated, he was better than. It was more effective, and he did far more, scored more goals, and he was far more exciting to watch. Than Somerville, and look, the careers have almost sort of flipped reversed on polar opposites. So
could you say it's a lack of minutes?
Possibly, but then he gets his opportunity in the FA Cup and doesn't take him. So why would you give somebody more minutes?
Like Smarty said, we're playing a lesser opposition, and you're getting minutes in the legs. But to get the minutes that you need to be up to a standard of the Premier League, if you're not getting those minutes, you're not going to get up to that speed. Like I'm not saying,
does he deserve those minutes? If he's not putting the performances in.
But if he's not getting the required minutes to get up to speed, as in the pace and what he needs, what it's expected of him in the Premier League, 380 odd minutes isn't an awful lot. Like. You know what I mean? And that's in substitute appearances and stuff like that.
I'll use a different example then. James Justin, when he got given his opportunity.
Yeah. But James Justin's been a Premier League player for how long? This is the thing.
All he did for one season for Leicester, and he hardly ever played.
He was there more than one season with Leicester. He won the FA Cup and the fucking with them as well. He's an FA Cup winner with Leicester. He's always played in the Premier League for a number of years. He's coming in knowing
a full season in the Premier League. Do we just forget about that?
When did he play a full season? Did we not get him in January?
No, he was brought in our 21s the season before that.
No, I want
23.
No, he wasn't. He was brought in January the season we went down.
I guarantee you, no, he was not. He wasn't brought in
January the season we went down is when it was brought in.
It was played for the 23s. Him, Somerville, Matteo Joseph. They were playing.
I'm happy to be proven wrong.
They were playing under Bielsa in the 21s and 23s.
Absolutely.
Or whatever
not.
it was, 21.
Absolutely.
100%.
Nonto was not a Bielsa player because I remember him
Not at
fucking
all.
being. I remember him at the first day he went to the training centre and Jesse Marsh and his cronies were sat around a fucking table and he spoke to him and went downstairs to meet his mum and
Smooching
dad.
his
So that's
parents.
definitely not true. I thought he signed in January. It might have been more in summer.
What year?
But it
What
was
year did we
Jesse
sign
Marsh.
Willie Nonto then?
The season we went down,
It was the season we got relegated.
and
Which
it was the
was-
January of the season we got
22,
relegated.
23, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Jesse Marsh's his only season that he started, and then he was sacked one year, and then fucking Gracia came in. But it was 100% not
bought him from
signed
Zurich.
under Jesse Marsh. 100%.
He signed on the 2nd of September 2022. So not in the summer.
22, 23.
Not in the winter.
But it was under Jesse Marsh though.
He made his Premier League debut in Leeds 2-1 win against Liverpool at Anfield, coming on as a substitute.
So that was the season we got relegated.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
the game which saved fucking Jesse Marsh's job.
The season that Marcelo Bielsa was our coach at the start of the season, wasn't it?
No.
That was
Oh no, sorry, Jesse Marsh saved us that season. Sorry, no, I am getting my knickers in a twist again. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But it was definitely
okay.
signed under Marsh, 100%.
You were going to say something, Luke. Sorry.
Anyway, shit.
Anyway, yeah. So we'll get on to shit take of the week. I think I know the winner of shit take of the week anyway already because.
Sorry, go on. That's all right.
No, go on. Carry on, man. What's up?
No, I've forgotten.
Brain fart. There was quite a few of them, but this one is one that kind of stands out. It's clearly a Sunderland fan, and he's basically tweeted, "It's mental how fans have different views on a referee. He was abysmal and gave Leeds almost everything, but all I see is Leeds lot saying the ref gave them nout. It's a funny old game. No, mate. He was absolutely bollocks for both teams, but gave ye everything and didn't fucking book any of your players for the amount of time wasting that you did. Absolute shite talk. Shite talk, in my opinion. Smarty, you ready to fucking 2-foot this dude, or what's the crack?
I don't really know what to say. I mean, it's a biased view, isn't it? Clearly, Mr. Bradley Dennis. But yeah, I agree. It was shit for both. I would say the difference was that the Sunderland players were hacking our lads down left, right, and fucking centre, and their lads were throwing themselves on fucking floor. So it wasn't like we were throwing ourselves and feigning injuries, etc., and pretending that our keeper, who was not seen fuck all at ball, all of a sudden's got an issue with his leg and needs to sit down so that the rest of the team can go and have a team talk, etc. The absolute level of shithousery, which again, fair play to him, was on a completely different frigging level, and it was horrible to watch. But because I'm sure you'll get onto some of the stats and stuff that Luke shared in our group earlier. It does show that we had a lot of free kicks and stuff like that. But that was because we were getting chopped down left, right, and centre. The amount of yellow cards could have been doubled and tripled quite easily throughout that game, and should have been. There should have been some reds as well. But
I think so.
What an absolute bellend this guy is.
Luke, what's your opinion on this guy?
Yeah, fuck him. Full of shit. I think I'm losing my marbles because I'm trying to think who was playing in the under 21s for us and got moved up to the first team at that season. Was it Cree?
Yes. He did walk floating about under Bielsa was Cree, but yeah, he definitely did start more for he featured.
We had a hell of a youth
10.
team at the time, didn't we? We had what's his face? We had Joffrey. We had who was the guy who played in midfield, who could take a free kick? Greenwood.
Bates. Oh, Greenwood.
And we were scoring. Matteo Joseph, they were scoring for fun, weren't they? Loads of them, at a similar sort of time, weren't they? So yeah, my mistake. Sorry, I did get Willie mixed up.
Not at all, man. Not at all.
Yeah, no, that Sunderland fan's just a fucking cockend as well.
Yeah, I think so, man. So we go on to the second one, which will be this one.
Oh, Jesus, I've just seen who it is on fucking me.
Yeah. So the notorious Fark out forever at Corporate AK. Fark cost us this game, which, let's be honest, that's fairly on the ball. Farkas cost us Premier League survival, though. This is where the fall apart begins.
Okay.
This guy, he does my head in.
Oh, man.
Does my head in.
It's always the same faces as well, isn't it? Every week.
Yeah.
As soon as there's a poor performance, they just cannot wait. This guy's a Liverpool fan anyway, I think, isn't he? This guy, the guy who pretended to be a Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of them, man. It's
what a wanker. There's people like that literally sit in the fucking bedrooms with a sock on a cock and with nothing else fucking better to do than just be a miserable bastard on social media. Get a fucking
That's the thing.
This time last week, people were talking about fucking how far we could get up the table. And now we're relegated.
Yeah.
Are you fucking having a laugh?
This is the thing.
Get a grip of yourself.
Fucking lunatics, man. Lunatics. So that douchebag can go and do one. So we have the third one here. American in Leeds has basically posted, is Xhaka Biol Leeds best centre-back? And BCL_LUFC has basically come on and gone, honestly, the strike and Roden lovers won't like this, but it's not get my foot out of my mouth. Won't like this, but it's not that close. He's so clear. Then Liam at 23 Liam LUFC went, I think that's a bit far, to be honest. I do agree he's our best, but Strike has been unreal the last 18 games or so. I think it's more that Strike and Be-All have gone clear of the others rather than just Be-All. Now, I'm a little bit confused by this one because they're both, pretty shit takes. Like, I think they're all on level par, to be fair.
I don't think Bale's played enough games for us to be considered our best centre back. If I'm
that's honest. The thing. Like, but I don't think either Rodon, Strike, or Be-All have excelled above each other that much. I think with a bit of consistency, Be-All and that the two lads at the back could be a fantastic back three.
I don't understand why. And I also don't understand why you've got to be one or the other or somebody else. Why can't you just say that they all complement each other well?
They do, absolutely. We said this on last week's show. They're perfect together, all of them. They're all not the best. Rodon has his weaknesses. Be-All as does Strike. But working together, they're brilliant. Strike's been fine. Yeah, he's one-on-one with players. He's not the best. But, he's got good vision. He's calm under pressure, etc. He's good. Be-All fucking absolutely immense in a lot of aerial situations. Rodon, there is no one in the fucking world I'd want more chasing someone fucking down than Rodon. Yeah. He's like a pissing cheetah looking after, running after a gazelle.
Roberto Carlos.
I don't think Roberto Carlos is as fast as Rodon. We need to figure out.
We'll get him to race.
Yeah, duck race.
What's
just
the
put their faces on it.
Speed of Roberto Carlos and his little tree trunk legs. Rodon's like a fucking cheetah, man. He's unreal and he's class. I mean, his quality is Rodon, and all three of them play really well.
Again, it's these similar. It's the same faces on Twitter, just trying to create that little fan divide. Like you've got to like Strike more than Rodon, or
like my opinion.
Ramazani. If Ramazani was here now, then we'd be still we'd be top of the league and all this bollocks. They're just the absolute little gimps.
Man, the thing as well, right? I like these are both shit takes, but. Like Smarty was saying, the three of them complement each other. Rodon's got the pace. Be-All's got the massive block of a head where he wins everything that comes in over the top. And Strike, for the most part, is probably our best ball playing out from the back centre-back. So they do all complement each other in different ways. So to say that one is excelling above the other is retarded because, let's be honest, they're all absolutely great in different ways and they add to the team. And we need to remember it's a team fucking sport.
Oh, it's not if you're these guys that you've got to still support Ramazani and pick him over anybody else. And
is that it,
same
man?
Sort of gang.
Are those fuckers still about, are they? I mean, like, they could. Yeah. So the final one comes in two parts. I just thought this, I fucking hell. First one is, so Onine booked in bizarre fashion. What? All right, yeah. So Luke O'Nien was booked in bizarre fashion at Ellen Road after kicking a second ball that had made its way onto the pitch back into play. Technically, that's incorrect, Sky Sports, because the ball wasn't actually in play. It was the other ball, but he did kick it into the play rather than back over towards the sideline. If you're listening on audio, it's on Sky Sports Instagram, and they've circled Luke O'Nien, and he's right beside the second ball on the pitch, and he could have easily just kicked it off over to the side, and it would have gone out for it, to the sideline. Absolutely fine. And then he had the audacity, the prick, to comment on said post and said, I tried to kick it off the pitch, to be honest. He's a dickhead, that guy.
Oh man, proper
He
cock.
knew exactly what he was doing and right place, so he got a yellow card for him. So fucking, he's an absolute idiot.
Should have also probably had another 3 yellow cards.
Yeah, he got punished for it. So it was fucking laughing, you silly twat.
Can I ask, I wasn't sure which player it was, but when Willie Nanto hurdled over the Sunderland player and got booked...
That was 09.
Luke O'Nien.
Was that 09? So 09 should have had a potentially a yellow card there as well, so if that's the case. So, depending on what the tackle was like. Luke, you don't mind letting people know when the old poll
It's
is
now
up?
live. I've already beat you to it.
Now live. Thank you very much, Luke. You're very, very good.
Fortias Atlas knows, doesn't it? Joseph Woodback, we will romp the league. That's the same sort of gag we're on about, isn't it?
Yeah, man. So we'll get the poll outcome at the end.
His first bit with this. Bring Ramazani and Joseph back and we will romp the league. There you go.
Good man.
Ramazani scored a worldie the other week, and they were all like, "This is Fark's fault. We haven't got this in our team." He scored 1 goal. It was a belter by mine, but it was a good goal. But this is what you're up against, innit? These little FIFA and Fat Champ Manager gimps.
Well, you do love two-footing them fools on the internet.
I haven't been on there for a while though. I haven't actually been on there, so I might spend a couple of hours tomorrow just having a read through some of the little gimpy statements.
Nice one, lads.
You anyway. Is that why they're into that Twitch shit take it week?
I'm not sure, mate. Probably.
Right. We'll come back to this at the end of the show, lads. Thanks very much.
Hey, has got a shit tick this week, my little sparafact.
Right. We've got a couple of starred comments here. We'll just have a look. Not many. Paul Brennan.
Deleted most of them.
Yeah, because we were going through them at a phenomenal rate, was it? Hello, folks. Hope you have all treated yourselves to an OKB mug, black with the peacock's feather. First class.
Mug.
Yep. It's first class, but tea bag fits in nicely. Class mug, ladies and gentlemen. Keep fighting. There you go. Thanks, Paul. Glad to see you're enjoying the mug, man.
Great mug. It's a great mug.
And in reply to that, Steve Brown's gone, evening, my mug turned up Saturday morning. Very nice too. Thanks, Paul. Steve. You can, if you're watching live, Smarty is modelling the mug.
QR code up there.
The QR code is right here. Just there, you see.
Treat yourself a mug. Treat yourself.
There.
Is
my finger really long, or what's the story with it?
PET?
Anyway. No. Final one here from Liam B 9790. Tanaka should be starting our home games like before he got injured, and Gruev got longer time in the first team. This is something that I've seen a few people talking about online, lads. Tanaka at home seems to be a better player than away from home, perhaps, but when we're looking to consolidate a point away from home, Gruev is probably the best player for the job in there, either him or Longstaff perhaps. But would either you like to see Tanaka getting more game time at home over the next games that should be, let's not get ahead of ourselves, but fairly winnable? Luke?
Definitely against Norwich, but not necessarily in the league. I think games that we should be expecting to go for and win, Burnley at home. I'd go back to what I say about the 5-3-2 with 2 attacking-minded midfielders in front of Ampadu in Statch and Aronson. I think it worked really well. I don't know why we've gone away from that, especially last night. I understand why he's trying to shoe on Gruev in when he's been, Gruev's been a decent linchpin in our side against some very, very tough teams because he will work tirelessly and he will defend and he will sit there and recognise when there's an attacking play or attacking move starting and he'll move around and he'll float around and he'll stop passing lanes and do all that sort of stuff. But when we're going for it, we need Statch and Aronson in there for me.
Yeah. DCL looks lost up top without Aronson to be running around taking the flick offs. Yeah. Which he won also a lot of last night, didn't he?
He did, but to nobody.
Yeah, that's what I was just. Yeah, I was just going to say that, man. Yeah. That's the benefit of having Aronson buzzing around him in the centre of the pitch as opposed to out wide, where he just seems lost and isolated out wide. To be fair, like Aronson, to his credit, he's come out and he said his favourite position's potentially the 8 position.
Yeah.
And over the last couple of games where he's been playing just in behind Dominic Calvert-Lewin in that 8 position, he's been very good and he's come across a lot of goals and assists over that time as well. But Smarty, with Tanaka, would you start him? Obviously, we're going to see him, I'd say, in the Norwich game. But do you think is it maybe time to start seeing him in home games, potentially coming on 65 minutes and try and help us along the way?
Nah, not for me. He's not looked that effective when he's come on. You can throw he ain't had much minutes, blah, 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 but, like you say, you've got to take your opportunities. He's usually played better when he's started, and obviously he's not going to get a start. We're relatively injury-free. So, yeah, it's, for me, a great player in an attacking sense, but, there are other more effective players that we're currently starting ahead of him, and that's how he should stay.
Fair enough. So there's a couple of more that you've started there, Smarty or Luke. I'm not quite sure. League Gold up 7-7-6. We're in the I'm assuming the shit, not sit. With today's results, it's on the manager. Far too many draws. I can understand why Lee would potentially come to that conclusion based off the performance on last night. But at the end of the day, if you draw 38 games, you stay up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the draws aren't bad. It's the
next comment. The next comment goes with it. The next comment.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Steve Brown's hitting the nail on the head there. It's exactly what I was gonna say. If we didn't have any of them points, we'd be fucked. We would be without Daniel Farke. We would have someone who's come in as an interim or as a secondary manager, etc. That would have to obviously implement their formations, their tactical, etc.
Awareness and
it's just not great, And luckily Daniel Farke managed to turn it around when he did, and we've been pretty bloody good ever since. What have we lost 3 in 15, 16?
Yeah.
It's at the end of the day, every point matters. As long as we stay ahead of the curve with the 1 point per game thing, we'll be absolutely fine. And it's certainly not over as a lot of fans seem to think all of a sudden.
Yeah, well, look, I never under the illusion that it's over. It's never over until it's over. But as I've said for quite some time, you just need to make sure that the points that you're getting keep you far enough ahead of everyone else. Don't worry about everyone else. Like, we're in a position that I can guarantee you West Ham, Nottingham Forest and Spurs fans would love to be in. We're in a good position.
Especially with the games coming up as well. You look at West Ham, I think they've got Villa, City and Scum or something like that in the next 3.
Yeah.
There's the fixtures coming up are favourable, but we've got to take advantage of them. It's all good and well as
West Ham have some good players, and they're clicking. They're starting to play good football.
Yeah.
Spurs are absolutely dog shit and are in free fall.
Yeah.
Forest aren't much better. Fucking hell, guys. We've got the easiest run out of all of our teams. There's so many teams who come to Elland Road that are in and around us now. Winnable games. We've got Wolves away. They're actually starting to tick over. Not so bad.
They look good as well.
That said, but
of course they are.
Why
fucking hell.
But they're too far gone. They're playing with no pressure now. The pressure's gone. They're already relegated. They aren't going to get out of it. So
yeah, they're just playing football now. They're not even thinking about. They're already heads in next season already. It's like it's a pride thing now, isn't it? Yeah.
Don't matter.
Lads, we get on to the Norwich game, even though we touched on it briefly there when it comes to Tanaka. Smarty, I'll come to you first, man. What team-wise, are we looking at the same kind of starting 11 from Derby, or are you in the mindset
Played Birmingham since then in the cup?
Oh, excuse me, Birmingham. Sorry, excuse me. Or are you of the mindset of fucking rotate everyone and give the players that need the rest, and fixate on the next home game or the next Premier League game?
I'm an advocate for keeping a relatively solid team at all times. I don't like too many changes, which a lot of the teams like to do now. They'll make 8 or 9 changes to a team. I don't really like that, mainly because those 8 or 9 players aren't used to playing with each other all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I like to keep mainly a solid core of starters with an additional group of fringe players. So maybe we do see, your Willie Nontos and your Dan Jameses, etc. Maybe start Metcher instead of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. But those sort of players are, relatively fringe players that are getting minutes. But I would like to be all strike. Obviously we'll see Perry, but he has played a lot of minutes, etc. But pretty much the core of the team remains the same. Ampadu absolutely right in the middle. But a smattering of both, not literally 8 changes. Because it just never works for me. Because then you're having to frigging bring all your frigging starters on to influence and change the game, which is what we had to do against Birmingham.
Yeah, so, and the thing is as well, like if you were to bring Longstaff in there, even though he's not long back from injury, he has played beside Ampadu quite a bit, so it's not a major change that we're looking at in that sense. So they know each other's game and they play alongside each other quite well, let's be honest.
We should be able to play attacking good football against Norwich. We should really take it to them.
I would expect a 3-4-2,
Longstaff
3-4-3. Huh?
Longstaff and Tanaka start for me. Metcher starts as well, but hopefully not on his own up top. I don't want to see Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I think he will be one who's rested. Perry comes in. I would try and give, if possible. I mean, we don't have a lot of options there, but I'd like to see Gudmundsson and Bogle given a bit of time off as well, where possible.
Get Sam Byram in.
Yeah.
Why not? The Sam Byram derby, the Daniel Farke Sam Byram derby, isn't it?
Well, yeah. But we're in a good position now. You don't really want to squander it by playing players.
It's not. We're 2 wins away from Wembley, and I hate that you go to Wembley in the semi-final of a cup.
Yeah, it's a lot of shit.
We are 2 wins away from going to Wembley, so if we beat these and we get a favourable draw in the next round, there's nothing to say that we won't make the semi-finals, which should be quite ironic, and given our current league form. So, but look, I agree with Smarty. Wins breed, positivity breeds positivity, and I think you've got to try and make a statement against Norwich this weekend. And
we need that boost of confidence.
Yeah, we do need it, and I think again, I'd like to see Willie Nonto and Dan J. I don't know. I'm sort of contradicting myself what's today, but I do want to see the Willie Nonto of old, and we know he's good enough, and I think that's what the frustrating thing is for me. I probably went in a little bit too hard on him, bless him. But that's what frustrates me is we've seen how good he can be. Same with Dan James, we've seen how good they can be. Look, Dan been unfortunately plagued with injuries and whatnot. But where do you fit him in? That we've got to try and stick to how we're playing in the league, I suppose. But actually, do it because we're playing against a lesser opposition. So, is there an argument then to say go back to the 4-1-3-2 or whatever, or the 4-2-3-1 or whatever that used to work in the Championship so well? So, and play with wingers and play one person in behind Metcher for this particular game. I don't know. I do want to see enough changes. I also want to see enough people given an opportunity to prove that they are going to be valuable for us in this important running of the next 9 games in the league as well.
Yeah, that's spot on, man. Absolutely spot on. Michael Gott makes a point here in the comments as well. He's asking, what about nearly starting 11 as usual, Karl? After all, a win against Norwich could bring us back some confidence. After 2 defeats, we may need it. I'm not in disagreement with that at all, Michael. But I think some of the players that we're talking about lacking in confidence, I think it's more of a physical output rather than a mental output, because we've played a lot of games since December, and I know every club has, but we've relied on a core starting 11 for pretty much those whole, like since City away, we've looked at the same starting 11 for nearly all of those games. It's not a confidence thing, I don't think, and I'm not trying to dig you out now by any means, Michael, but I think it's more of a physical output that we're kind of just suffering with at the moment, because we've seen it. The physical output leads to bad passes, leads to, you know, bad decisions. Like Ampadu, I know it was a bit of a freak one, but, you know, it happens. But Ampadu probably doesn't do that, you know, prior to or after.
He has got a brain fart in him, though. Sometimes he just swings his foot at the ball and it'll go fucking bit. He has got that in him.
He has, yeah. But it's seemed more frequent recently that he's misplaced passes, and he's done that over the last couple of games. Like, we haven't played badly, and I'm not saying he is bad or he has played badly, but when you start misplacing passes that are fairly routine, that's not a confidence thing for me. That's just an exhaustion thing, and I think having him off against Norwich might be the best thing for us long term. If he's fighting fit for Saturday's game away to, or Sunday's game away to Palace, that's a week and that's nearly 2 weeks off. And if he comes in and he does his thing against Palace, then it is an physical output thing rather than a confidence thing. But only time will tell. We have to wait and see how that pans out over the next 2 weeks and see if that is the case. And I'll hold my hands up if I'm wrong. But there's a few players on that pitch yesterday, regardless of how the ref killed the game with his decisions and Sunderland shithousing. I think there's players out on that pitch that are knackered. Like, you know, it was a 40.
You can see it.
It was a 46 game season last year, and it went right to the wire, and every ounce of you is put into that season. Now, yes, they had time to recover over the summer and then get back into training, but it's still a lot to do. Like, hear players complaining sometimes about there's too much football. You know, we're running into the ground and we're all like, yeah, you're professional sports people, you should be able for it. But you try playing 90 minutes of football and then recover the next day or a week later. I know for a fact, if I play five-a-side, it's hurting for 3 days.
You are 52 years of age, Karl. It's a slight difference.
I'm 104. All right.
That's double the age. And
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
But no, I agree. But the 90 minutes of professional sport, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a lot harder, a lot tougher, a lot faster. They should be, if they could play, you know, if we're expecting them to play 46 games in the Championship, it's effectively this season plus cup games in it this year. So they're not asked to play any more than they did last year, albeit some players have come from different leagues and whatever. I'm with the thought that they should be able to. Look, players will pick up injuries and things, but I would like to see some opportunities given to players that haven't been getting minutes, because I think we probably are going to need them in this running, and we need to be seeing the best of them. And that without minutes in the legs, we're probably not. It goes back to what you said earlier.
Yeah. So we don't do the predictions league anymore, lads. But Luke, I'll come to you first. What are you going with for Sunday's clash at home to Norwich in the FA Cup? Are you predicting a bleeding quarter-final, is it? Quarter-final?
It would be the quarter-final after this, yeah. I'm going to say that we're going to win and win comfortably, 3-1.
Yeah, fairly strong one, that. Smart.
I'll go for a steady 2-0. We should beat Norwich. You know, they've had a slight upturn in form themselves. You know, they were down at the bottom of the Championship, or gurgling around the proverbial plug hole. Yeah, they're doing a little bit better. They've had a little bit of a bounce or whatever. But we should more than be capable of slapping these. And they're not. And again, touch wood, they're not too successful at Elland Road of late. So yeah, I think
you actually did that for Sunderland last week at the same time. So
I didn't.
That's not good.
You're lying. Don't be pinning that on me, Carlos.
Don't be pinning that.
That's exactly what we don't want, Michael. Any extra minutes in the legs, fuck right off.
That's not. Do it in 90 minutes and be gone with the shit. Right, lads. So I'll go. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win. It'll be a comfortable 2-1 win. We'll go 2-0 up. They'll score a late one because we'll make about 8 changes. You know, and it might just cause us to panic a bit at the end. But that'll
Would
be
you
about it,
Would you like the poll results?
I was just going to say, yeah, we'll do the poll results before we go on to the next bit before we finish. Yeah.
Let's do this. Right. So in final place was team centre back N0NCES, 13%. I tried clearing it off the pitch. Luco 19%. Fickle Farkout as a resurrected, 24%. And then the Sunderland referee and performance with 44% is this week's shit take of the week.
Excellent. I'm glad people saw the sense side of it and voted the ref to be it.
It was one before it was even out there, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, let's be honest. Yeah, I think last night's fucking performance definitely, and the subsequent suspension, demotion, hopefully to never be seen again. Don't like to see a man lose his job, but when you do a shit job like that, you get fired in any fucking in any role. So off you pop. Smarty. Would you mind doing our Andy's Man Club reading, if you don't mind?
Yes, I can. Apologies that we don't have a audio clip for you this week, but Gilly's been away, so he's not sorted that out. Not that it's solely dependent on him, but he's
the IT guy, man. He's the IT guy.
Fancy buttons.
Yeah.
If you're going through a storm or have recently been through one and you're a man over 18, perhaps Andy's Man Club Leeds may be able to help you. We have venues in Horsforth, Kirkstall, Pudsey, Central Leeds, Hunslet, Seacroft and Morley. They are open 7 till 9 every Monday, barring bank holidays. They also run weekly and monthly social events with our aim to get men talking and to smash the stigma around mental health, men's mental health more specifically. Details of the venues and everything that they are doing is on the Andy's Man's Club Leeds Facebook, so give them a follow and help spread the word and smash the stigma.
Excellent. Lads and ladies in the comments, always talk to someone. They're not going to judge you. If they're a friend or a family member who actually gives a shit about you, they will sit and listen. Simple as that. Any final thoughts or anything like that, lads? Luke, anything you'd like to say before you making any Sky Sports appearances in the next while that anyone we should know about?
No, nothing coming up, mate, really. I seen Joe is back on the screens. He did a couple of Sky Sports FC, I think it was, on Sky over the past week, which is really good to see. So yeah, nothing from me at the moment. Yeah, I think I've ruined the chances when I fronted up Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank and asked him about his the reason.
Yeah.
I think I've ruined everything.
You did all right, mate. You did all right.
Man, you need to. Those are the tough questions that need to be asked. These soft journalists won't ask them questions and put them in a position to actually be honest.
Fucking dive headfirst into oncoming traffic than do out like that, mate. But fair fucking play for doing it, man.
That can be arranged.
No,
it
takes some stones.
Is that how you ended up with that head?
Mate, I would destroy anything that fucking tried to come head to head with me.
Thanks, fucking Arctics.
Scum of their slab head, we have ours. Lads, thanks very much for joining me tonight. Appreciate it. It's a little bit more controlled than I thought you were going to be tonight. Fair play to you. You held it back. No doubt I'll get some form of verbal abuse when we end the stream, but thanks very much. Appreciate it. Everyone in the comments, thanks for joining in. Without you and your input, this pod probably wouldn't be half as entertaining or half as long for that matter. So thank you very much for all the comments. We really do appreciate it. Like, subscribe and hit the notification bell, please. And give it about 2 or 3 hours, and then you have this new hype button that the kids are doing, and that pushes us up the algorithm, I think. I'm going to pretend you didn't say that, and we'll end the show on a positive note. Smarty.
Toodaloo.
Oh, look, it's not. There's no outro set for
useless.
that one. There's no fucking outro set for that one. There's none. So I'm gonna have to do it manually. Thanks for joining us, folks. Take care.
We always have to do it manually.
Yeah.
It's all to know better. We all to know much better than letting Karl go on with Jay.
We lost Karl again.
Luke's calling out bad weathers, and Smarty is no better, and Gilly gets fan mail again. But every time we go live,
shit take has been
can't speak or even tell the time.
It's Moratoy's out the pram.
It's all
If I see his mother in
we
the
all know
stands,
much better.
I'm
This
gonna
ends
crack an egg
show for tonight. And if you like these weapons and you don't think they're balanced, please go check out our merch site. Good night.
little tosser, and I hate him. He's shit. He's average, and he's a shit house.